The fluorescent lights of the Goodwill on Market Street hummed their tired song. It was 6:47 p.m. on a Thursday, and the store would close in 30 minutes. Sarah Martinez stood in front of a rack of prom dresses, her fingers trembling as they touched the price tag. $47.99, reduced from someone else's dream, now possibly her daughter's salvation. She had exactly $5,214 in her wallet. It had to cover the dress, the bus fare home, and tomorrow's breakfast for both of them. Behind her, a man in an expensive wool coat waited patiently, holding a single-item child's book about stars. He watched her calculate, watched her shoulders tense, watched her quietly start to cry. He had no idea he was about to witness the most heartbreaking act of love he'd ever seen. And she had no idea that the stranger behind her in line was about to change everything. Asterisk. Before we dive into Sarah's story, if you believe that kindness can change everything, please hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a comment telling us about a time someone's generosity changed your life or a time you changed someone else's. And smash that like button so more people can find these stories of hope. Your support means everything. .com. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Sarah Martinez's alarm went off at 4:15 a.m., the same as it had every morning for the past 2 years. She silenced it before the second bipar reflex, born from not wanting to wake her 17-year-old daughter, Emma, who slept in the only bedroom of their studio apartment. Sarah slept on the couch, had been sleeping there since Emma turned 15 and needed privacy. Asterisk job, 1 asterisk, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Housekeeping at the Fairmont Hotel, 8 hours of making beds and scrubbing toilets. $14.50 an hour. No benefit. Asterisk job, 2 asterisk 1:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. Data entry at a medical billing company, $16 an hour. Contract work, no security. The fluorescent lights gave her headaches that never went away. Asterisk job, 3 asterisk 6:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Cashier at Save Mart grocery store, $13.75 an hour. Her feet screamed by the end of every shift. She'd get home by 11:45 p.m., sleep for 4 hours, then do it all again. This had been her life for 731 days. 2 years since Emma's father, McGill, had simply left. No warning, no explanation. Just gone one Tuesday morning, taking his clothes, his guitar, and the $1,847 they'd saved for Emma's college fund. He left anoche. I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. Sarah had cried for 3 days. Then she'd gotten angry for 3 more. Then she'd done the math and realized that one job wasn't going to cut it anymore. Emma never complained. Not once. She got herself up for school, made her own breakfast, took the bus, kept her grades perfect. At 17, she'd had to become an adult because her father had decided to become a child. But Sarah saw the way Emma looked at other kids, the ones whose parents came to school events, the ones who had cars and new clothes, and could see possibility instead of limitation. Sarah couldn't give Emma much, but she could work herself to dust to make sure Emma never felt abandoned. The conversation happened on a Sunday, Sarah's only day off. Emma had been quiet all morning. Finally, while they were folding clothes, she spoke. "Mom, I need to tell you something about prom. I'm not going." Relief and heartbreak hit Sarah simultaneously. Relief, because prom was expensive, visibly $300. They didn't have. Heartbreak, because Emma was 17 and should be excited about prom, not sacrificing it. "Emma, it's fine." "Mom, really? I don't even have a date. And honestly, the whole thing seems kind of stupid. Besides, I'd rather save money for college stuff." Emma's voice was bright. Too bright. She was lying. "Baby, do you want to go to prom?" Emma's facade cracked. "Yeah," she whispered. "Yeah, I kinda do." Stupid, right? Not stupid. Never stupid. Sarah took her daughter's hands. "You're going to prom. We'll figure it out." After Emma went to bed, Sarah did the math. She had $127 saved in the emergency fund. If she picked up extra hours, if she skipped lunches, if she shopped smart, she could do this. She had to do this. They started at the mall. The cheapest dress at Macy's was $189. At Nordstrom, prices started at $300. Sarah watched Emma pretend not to care. Watched her look at price tags and quickly move on. Watched her daughter's dream shrink with each store. The consignment shop had slim pickings. The dresses that fit were stained, torn, or hopelessly dated. What about Goodwill? Emma suggested. It was a 20-minute bus ride. They arrived at 6:30 p.m. Sarah had begged to leave her grocery store shift 30 minutes early. The prom dress section was picked over. But then Emma found it, tucked between a sequined monstrosity and a Victorian gowna. Simple dress, emerald green with delicate beading at the neckline. Elegant without being flashy. ... Perfect. ... Emma held it up, and for the first time in 2 years, Sarah saw her daughter look like a kid again. Excited, hopeful, unguarded. Mom, oh my God, can I try it on? The dress fit like it had been made for Emma. The green brought out her eyes. Emma stood in front of the mirror, tears sliding down her cheeks. I love it, she whispered. Mom, I love it so much. Sarah checked the price tag, her hands shaking. $4,799. She had $5,214 in her wallet. The dress was manageable, but they still needed shoes. She found a pair of silver heels, slightly scuffed but structurally sound. $1,299. $4.799 mais $1.299 é igual a $6.098. Sarah had $5,214. She was $8.84 short. She stood in the aisle, staring at numbers that wouldn't change. Around her, other shoppers browsed casually. Sarah's calculations were written in the tension of her shoulders, the exhaustion in her eyes, the desperate math of survival. She could put the shoes back. Emma could wear the old flats scuffed, soul-separating. Emma would smile and say they were perfect and pretend her feet didn't hurt while she danced. No, Emma deserved better. She deserved to feel beautiful, to feel normal, to have one night where she didn't have to compromise. Sarah made a decision. She'd buy both. She'd walk home only 6 miles. She'd skip breakfast tomorrow and probably lunch. They had crackers at home, some peanut butter. Emma wouldn't have to know. She gathered both items and headed to the register, Emma trailing behind, still glowing. There was one person ahead of them in line, a man in an expensive wool coat, holding a single children's book about stars. Emma squeezed Sarah's hand. Thank you, Mom, for everything. You're the best. And Sarah smiled, even as her heart broke, even as she calculated how many miles she'd walk home in her worn-out shoes. Anything for you, baby. Always. She had no idea the man in front of her was listening. James Whitmore had been a billionaire for exactly 17 years. He ran Whitmore Technologies, a company valued at $84 billion, and he owned 43% of it. He could buy anything, go anywhere, do anything, and yet here he was, in a Goodwill, holding a children's book about stars that cost $2.99. His daughter would have been 7 this week. Would have been, because Lilia died 3 years ago, childhood leukemia, that no amount of money could cure. In the end, money meant nothing. Lily had died anyway. Her small hand in his, asking if she'd be able to see the stars from heaven. All of them. Baby girl, he'd whispered. Every single one. Today was Lily's birthday, and every year, James did something his therapist had suggested. He went somewhere she would have loved, and he bought something she would have wanted this year. Goodwill. Lily had loved treasure hunts, finding hidden gems. He'd found the Star Girl's Journey, a picture book about a little girl who became a constellation. He'd been standing in line when he heard them. Thank you, Mom, for everything. You're the best. Anything for you. Baby! Always. He glanced back, saw a woman mid-30s, exhausted in a way that went deeper than physical tiredness. She was holding a prom dress and shoes, and her daughter was looking at her like she'd hung the moon. James recognized that expression. The look of someone who had burned themselves to ashes of it meant keeping their child warm. He paid for his book, too. $199. That'll be $60.98. He paused near the door, pretending to look at his phone. The woman's voice was soft, defeated. I'm sorry. I miscalculated. I only have $52. 14. Do you want to put something back? James watched the mother look at the shoes, then at her daughter. No, you're getting both. I'll figure it out. But Mom, how? The mother didn't answer. I'm $8, 84 short. Is there a credit option? Or can I pay you Monday when I get paid? I'm so sorry. Ma'am, company policy. I could hold the items until Monday. We don't have transportation on Monday. I'm working 3 shifts. Please, it's for her. Prom. I can give you my number, my work information. I'll pay Monday. I promise. I believe you, but I can't override the system. I'm really sorry. James watched the woman calculate, watched her daughter's face fall, watched dreams adjust themselves downward. Okay, put the shoes back. We'll make the flats work. Mom, it's fine. Mia, the dress is what matters. James looked at the book in his hand. $2.99, a token gesture. And then he looked at this stranger who was choosing between her daughter's dreams and tomorrow's breakfast. He thought about Lily, about how he'd have given everything for one more day with her. This woman had her daughter, healthy and alive, and going to prom. And she was making it happen, despite everything. Money couldn't buy the things that mattered, but it could remove obstacles. It could ease burdens. It could turn an impossible choice into possible joy. He walked back to the register. Excuse me? James said, stepping forward. I'd like to pay for these items as well. The mother turned, startled. I'm sorry. Your daughter's dress and shoes. I'd like to pay for them. He pulled out his wallet and extracted his credit card. No, that's very kind, but I can't accept. Please, James interrupted gently. Let me do this, sir. I appreciate the gesture, but I can't take charity. It's not charity. The words felt true. Today is my daughter's birthday. She passed away 3 years ago. She was 7. He felt them go still. And if she were here, if she were growing up and going to prom, I'd want someone to see her mother working impossible hours, to make magic happen. I'd want someone to help, not because you need saving, but because kindness matters. He looked at Emma. Your mom is working 3 jobs for you. That dress, those shoes, they're not just clothes, they're love. And I'd be honored to be a small part of that. The mother's eyes filled with tears. I don't even know your name. James. Recognition flickered. His name was on buildings, in news articles. I'm Sarah. Sarah Martinez. And this is my daughter, Emma. It's very nice to meet you both. James handed his card to the cashier. Ring up everything, please. The dress, the shoes, and add that purse too. The silver one, it'll match the shoes. Sir, that's too much. It's not nearly enough. But it's what I can do today. The transaction took 30 seconds. $73, 98 total. James had spent more on lunch. But watching Emma's face light up, watching Sarah Martinez try not to cry, that was priceless. Thank you, Sarah whispered. Thank you so much. I think I do. James started to leave, then turned back. Ms. Martinez, can I ask what you do for work? I mean, I work 3 jobs. Housekeeping at the Fairmont, data entry at Medicode Solutions, and cashier at SaveMart. 3 jobs. How many hours a week? About 75. 70, sometimes 80. James nodded slowly. His mind was already calculating. He pulled out his wallet again, extracted a business card. Ms. Martinez, I run a tech company, Whitmore Technologies. We're always looking for good people who show up, who work hard, who understand responsibility. He held out the card. Come see me, Monday morning, 9 a.m., my office. I'd like to talk to you about a job. Sarah stared at the card like it was a hallucination. A job? But I don't. I'm not a tech person. You're someone who works 80 hours a week and still shows up for your daughter. You're someone who does impossible math to make dreams possible. That's exactly the kind of person I want working for me. He paused. The starting salary for an administrative coordinator at my company is $65,000 a year, with full benefits. If you're interested, the bag fell from Sarah's hands. Emma caught it. $65,000, Sarah repeated. That's more than I make in a year now. Combined. All 3 jobs. So you'll come Monday? Yes, Sarah whispered. Yes? Oh my God. Yes. James smiled, the first real smile he'd managed on Lily's birthday in 3 years. Good. Bring your resume, if you have one. But honestly, I don't need it. I trust my instincts about people. He turned to Emma. Have a wonderful time at prom. And remember, your mother is a remarkable woman. But I think you already know that. I do. She's the best person I know. Outside, the evening air was cool. James got into his car and sat for a moment, holding the children's book. Happy birthday, Lily, he whispered. I hope, wherever you are, you saw that. I hope you're proud of your dad, he called his head of HR. Victoria, it's James. I need you to prepare an employment package. Full benefit start date Monday. Name is Sarah Martinez. He paused. Oh, and Victoria, make it $70. And let's include a signing bonus. Say, $5. She's got a daughter going to college soon. You met her 20 minutes ago. How do you know? Because I pay attention. See you Monday. As he drove away, he realized something. For the first time in 3 years, he'd made it through Lily's birthday without drowning in grief because he'd seen something beautiful. A mother's love, fierce and a moment of kindness that cost him almost nothing but meant everything to someone else. And somewhere, maybe, Lily was watching. Maybe she was smiling. Maybe she was proud. Asterisk. Asterisk. If this moment is touching your heart, please take a second to hit that like button. And in the comments below, tell us, have you ever been the recipient of unexpected kindness? Or have you been able to help someone when they needed it most? These stories matter, and your stories matter too. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss these moments of hope and humanity. Sarah didn't sleep that night. She lay on her couch bed, staring at James Whitmore's business card, convinced it had been a dream. Emma couldn't sleep either. She kept checking to make sure the dress was still real. Mom, she said at 2 a.m. Did that really happen? I think so, Mia. Saturday morning, Sarah did something she hadn't done in 2 years. She took a day off. She called all 3 jobs and said she was sick. She and Emma spent the day together. Really together. They went to the library, walked in the park, made dinner together, laughing as they burned the rice. Whatever happens Monday, Emma said. Thank you for today. I miss you. Mom.com Sunday. Sarah bought herself new clothes. Black pants, a blue blouse, a cardigan. $67 total, which made her physically ill to spend. But she couldn't show up to Whitmore Technologies in a housekeeping uniform. She needed to look like someone worth hiring. Whitmore Technologies headquarters was a glass and steel tower. 47 stories of innovation and wealth. Sarah arrived 30 minutes early, terrified of being late. At 8:55 a.m., she walked through the revolving doors into a lobby that looked like science fiction. Can I help you? The security guard asked. I'm supposed to meet with Mr. Whitmore. At 9. I'm Sarah Martinez. The guard checked his computer. Ah, yes, Ms. Martinez. You're expected. Take the express elevator to the 47th floor. Expected? She was expected. This was real. When the elevator doors opened, a woman in a stunning pantsuit was waiting. Ms. Martinez. I'm Victoria Chun, head of human resources. Mr. Whitmore asked me to bring you to his office. They walked through glass-walled conference rooms and open-concept workspaces. Everything was bright and modern and utterly intimidating. James Whitmore sat at a desk with a view across the entire city. He looked different in a professional context. More powerful, more intimidating. Then he looked up and smiled, the same genuine smile from goodwill. Ms. Martinez. Sarah, come in. Please. Sarah sat awkwardly, clutching a thin resume. Sarah, I don't hire based on degrees or experience. I hire based on character. And Thursday night at Goodwill, I saw someone with the kind of character this company needs. You were doing impossible math to make your child happy. You were demonstrating the kind of problem-solving and prioritization that most people with MBAs never learn. He pulled out a folder. Here's the offer. $70 annual salary. Full health benefits. Starting immediately. 4 weeks paid vacation. 401k match and tuition reimbursement if you want to pursue further. Education. Signing bonus of $5,000. Sarah couldn't speak. The numbers were impossible. Fantastical. Life-changing. I can't accept this, she whispered. Why not? Because it's too much. Because I don't deserve it. Because I'm terrified I'll mess this up. James was quiet. Sarah, after my daughter died, I almost destroyed my company. I stopped caring. My CFO sat me down and said, James, Lily wouldn't want you to become nothing. She'd want you to honor her by being someone worth remembering. That conversation saved me. He looked directly at her. You remind me that there are people fighting battles. Can't see. People who show up every day and do the impossible. I want those people in my company. So yes, this is Charatin. The sense that I'm giving you an opportunity you didn't ask for. But it's also business. I'm betting on you, and I have a pretty good track record. When would I start? Today, if you'd like. Sarah thought about the hotel, the data entry company, the grocery store, the exhaustion that had been her companion for 2 years. I'd like to start today. Welcome to WIT Technologies. Sarah Martinez. Victoria Chun spent the morning onboarding. Sarah, computer setup, security badge, benefits, enrollment, introductions to the executive team. Everyone was kind. No one asked about her background. They simply welcomed her. By lunch, Sarah sat in the employee cafeteria which served free lunch trying to process everything. Her phone buzzed. Emma, Mom, how's it going? I'm having lunch in the company cafeteria. They have sushi. Mia, free sushi. Emma laughed. You hate sushi. I know. But it's free. Sarah felt giddy. Emma, this is real. I have business cards being printed. I have a desk. I have health insurance. That starts immediately. Mom, are you okay? Really? Okay. Sarah looked around at the people discussing projects she didn't understand, at the view of the city, at the life she'd stumbled into. I think I'm better than okay. I think I'm going to be fine. That night, Sarah came home at 5:30 p.m. Noche 11:45 policial militar. Not after Emma was already asleep. She came home while it was still light outside. Came home to make dinner with her daughter. Came home to sit and watch TV and talk about nothing important because they had the time. How was your first day? Emma asked. Overwhelming. Amazing. Terrifying. Perfect. They sat together in their small apartment, the apartment they could maybe afford to move out of now. Mom, Emma said quietly, Dad's missing all of this. Sarah tensed. They rarely talked about Miguel. He left because things were hard, and now they're getting better, and he's just gone. I don't know if he regrets it, Mia, but I know this. We didn't fall apart when he left. We held together. We survived. And now we're going to do more than survive. We're going to thrive. Sarah had been at Whitmore Technologies for 91 days when James called her into his office for her first review. Sarah, how are you finding the work? Challenging. But Gid, I think I'm getting better. You're doing more than getting better. You're exceptional. I've been getting feedback from the executive team. They say you're the best administrative coordinator we've ever had. You're 3 steps ahead of everyone. You solve problems before they become crises. Sarah felt herself flush. I'm just used to managing a lot of moving pieces. Exactly. That's what I saw in Goodwill. He paused. I want to offer you a promotion. Director of Executive Operations. You'd be managing not just schedulers, but projects, initiatives, company-wide logistics. The salary would be $95,000. Still interested? Sarah couldn't speak. She just nodded. Good, because I have another question. How would you feel about going back to school? We have tuition reimbursement. You could get a business degree, an MBA eventually. James, I can't accept more from you. You've already changed my life. It's not charity, Sarah. It's investment. Besides, someone very wise once told me that the measure of success isn't what you accumulate. It's what you give away. Sarah felt tears streaming. I don't know how to thank you. You already have. Every day you show up. Every problem you solve. That's thanks enough. He paused. How's Emma? Prom. Go okay. Sarah laughed through her tears. She looked beautiful. She had the time of her life. She keeps the dress in her closet. won't let me donate it. Good. She should. James pulled something from his desk. Speaking of Amu, she's a senior next year, right? Starting to look at colleges. Yes. She wants to study engineering. But the tuition! James slid an envelope across the desk. With Technologist has a scholarship program for employees, children, full ride to any in-state university, or $50,000 annually. For out-of-state, Emma's already qualified. This letter confirms her acceptance. Sarah stared at the envelope. You're paying for my daughter's college. The company is investing in the next generation. Emma's smart, hardworking, and she's been raised by someone who understands sacrifice and determination. That's exactly who we want to support. Sarah sobbed right there in his office. Sobbed with relief and gratitude and the overwhelming realization that they were going to be okay. That the impossible math had finally added up. James handed her tissues and waited patiently. 2 years ago, I thought we were going to lose everything. And now, you're building something new. You did that, Sarah. I just opened a door. You walked through it. The prom was held at the Fairmont Hotel, the same hotel where Sarah had once cleaned rooms for $14.50 an hour. She stood in the lobby, wearing a dress from an actual department store, watching Emma descend the grand staircase in her emerald green Goodwill dress. Her daughter looked like a princess. Emma's data suite boy named Marcus looked appropriately odd. You look amazing, Sarah said. I feel amazing. Emma pulled back, her eyes serious. Mom, none of this would have happened without you. You made this possible. A lot of people made this possible. But you most of all. Emma kissed her cheek. I'm going to make you proud. I promise. You already have. Me every single day. Sarah watched Emma walk into the ballroom. She turned to leave and nearly collided with someone. Ms. Martinez. Fancy meeting you here. James Whitmore in a tuxedo. James, what are you doing here? My goddaughter's prom. I promised I'd make an appearance. He gestured to a woman beside him. This is my friend Rachel. They stood together, watching teenagers dance through the ballroom doors. Thank you, Sarah said quietly. For everything. For seeing me when I was invisible. James shook his head. You were never invisible, Sarah. You were just waiting for someone to look. Emma Martinez graduated summa cum laude from the University of Washington with a degree in electrical engineering. She'd already accepted a position at Whitmore Technologies in their R&D division. Sarah sat in the audience, wearing a business suit from a recent promotion to vice president of operations. Beside her sat James. That's your daughter up there. James sat as Emma received her diploma, walking across that stage because you worked 3 jobs and never gave up. That's my daughter up there because you stood behind me in line at Goodwill and chose kindness, Sarah corrected. We both know it's more complicated than that. Is it? You saw someone who needed help. You helped. That's not complicated. That's just good. After the ceremony, Emma found him. Congratulations. Dr. Martinez in waiting, James said, hugging her. I hear you're joining our team next month. I hear you're the one who approved my hiring. Nepotism much. Only the best kind. Emma turned to her mother. Mom, I got something for you. She handed Sarah a wrapped package. Inside was a frame, the dress that changed everything. With love and gratitude to the woman who worked 3 jobs, to my one daughter's dream, and to the stranger who saw her and chose kindness. May we all be so brave, so generous, and so willing to help when it matters most. Sarah held the frame and cried. Good tears now. Healing tears. I'm keeping the actual dress, Emma said, but I wanted you to have this, to remember. I could never forget. 6 months later, Sarah walked into a Goodwill, not the one on Market Street, a different one. Across town, she browsed the aisles. Then she saw her, a woman, mid-20s, holding a baby, while she looked at infant clothes. The woman was doing quiet math, checking prices, putting things back. Sarah watched her, saw herself 4 years ago, saw the exhaustion, the determination, the desperate hope. She walked over. Excuse me, Sarah said gently. I know this might seem strange, but I'd like to pay for your items today. The woman looked startled. What? Why? Because 4 years ago, someone did the same for me, and he told me it wasn't charity. was kindness. And now I want to pass it forward. The woman's eyes filled with tears. I can't. That's too much. It's exactly enough. Sarah echoed words she'd heard 4 years ago. Please, let me do this. At the register, Sarah paid for the baby clothes, diapers, and a winter coat. $67, 43 total, as the woman thanked her through tears. Sarah handed her a business card. If you're looking for work, call this number. Ask for Sarah Martinez. We're always looking for good people who work hard. Understand what it means to fight for the people you love. The woman stared at the card. Is this real? Very real. And if you come in, wear whatever you want. We don't care about credentials. We care about character. Sarah left and sat in her car, thinking about James Whitmore, about that night 4 years ago, about the impossible chain of kindness that had changed her life. She pulled out her phone and texted him, I was just someone behind you in line at Goodwill. Thank you for looking. His response came immediately. Thank you for being worth seeing. And thank you for passing it forward. That's how we change the world, one person, one moment, one act of kindness at a time. Sarah started her car and drove home to the 2-bedroom apartment where she finally had her own room. She thought about Emma starting her career, about the thousands of lives James had changed, about the woman at Goodwill who might call tomorrow, might get a job, might change her own life. And she thought about how sometimes the smallest acts, for a stranger's prom dress, offering an unexpected job, choosing to see instead of looking past, could create ripples that spread farther than anyone could imagine. Asterisk, Sarah Martinez's story reminds us that we're never truly invisible, just waiting for someone who knows how to see. Asterisk. If this story touched your heart, we need your help to share it with the world. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss these moments of hope and transformation. Asterisk. Tell us about a time someone saw you when you felt invisible. Or tell us about a time you chose to help someone when you could have looked away. Your stories matter. They inspire us. They remind us that kindness is contagious and that every single one of us has the power to change a life. Asterisk. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that their struggles are temporary, that help can come from the most unexpected places, and that dignity and hard work are never wasted even when it feels like no one is watching. Asterisk, because someone is always watching. Someone sees your sacrifice. Someone recognizes your strength. And sometimes that someone has the power to change everything. Asterisk. This is Soul Lift Stories, where we believe that one act of kindness can ripple across eternity, that seeing people is the greatest gift we can give, and that hope never dies yet, just waits for someone brave enough to pass it forward. Asterisk. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being the kind of person who believes these stories matter. Asterisk. Until next time, remember, you are seen, you are valued, and your struggle is building something beautiful, even when you can't see it yet. Asterisk. Keep going, keep fighting, keep being kind. The world needs you.